After dinner at the hotel, I walked back to my room with my friends, laughing and joking about the evening. It had been a casual gathering full of chatter, photos, and even a little harmless recording. One of my friends had been filming parts of our fun just for memories, and I never thought much of it. For me, it was nothing more than a way to capture the night and remember the joy of that evening. But little did I know, that same video would later turn into a storm in my marriage. When I got home, everything seemed fine at first. My husband asked me how the dinner had been, and I smiled, telling him about the food and the laughter. But something about his expression felt off. His smile didn't reach his eyes. He was holding his phone in his hand, and I noticed he had already seen a video someone had posted online. It was the same one from dinner, but he didn't see it the way I did. His first question was sharp, cutting through the air like a knife. "Who was that man sitting next to you?" I froze for a moment before realizing he was talking about one of my old classmates who had joined us that night. In the video we were laughing about something silly, and it might have looked too friendly to someone outside the circle. I explained quickly, but his eyes narrowed, and I knew he wasn't convinced. The way he looked at me made my heart ache. There was suspicion in his eyes where there used to be trust. I kept repeating that it was innocent, that nothing had happened. But he scrolled through the video again and again, replaying every little gesture, every smile. To him, the laughter looked like flirting, and my casual friendliness seemed like betrayal. I tried to tell him that I had introduced him to my classmate once before, that there was no reason to doubt me, but anger and jealousy had already clouded his judgment. He muttered words under his breath, questioning my loyalty, making me feel like a criminal under interrogation. I could feel my hands trembling, not from guilt, but from the helplessness of not being believed. The night turned heavy with silence after our argument. He went to bed without another word, and I sat alone, staring at the walls. My mind kept replaying everything. How something so innocent had turned into poison. I wished I had never gone to that dinner, never been in that video. But deep inside, I also wished my husband could just trust me enough to see the truth. Days passed and the distance between us grew. He avoided eye contact, gave me short answers, and sometimes walked out of the room when I tried to explain again. I felt like I was living with a stranger, punished for a crime I didn't commit. My heart longed for the warmth of the man who once believed in me without question. Finally, one evening, I decided I couldn't take the silence anymore. I sat down with him, took his hand, even though he tried to pull away, and begged him to listen. I told him every detail of the dinner, who was there, what we talked about, why the laughter meant nothing more than friendship. My voice cracked as I reminded him of the vows we had made. To trust, to believe, to stand together even when doubts tried to creep in. He listened quietly this time. His anger not as sharp as before. I could see the struggle in his eyes. Part of him still wounded by jealousy, but another part realizing he might have been unfair. After a long silence, he finally spoke. "I don't want to lose you, but I can't stand the thought of you with someone else." His voice was softer now, and I could feel the fear behind his anger. Tears filled my eyes as I told him the truth once again, that there was no one else, that he was the only man I loved. I reminded him that a video could never define the reality of our marriage, that trust was stronger than blurry recordings. Slowly, I saw the doubt in his eyes begin to fade, replaced with guilt for having doubted me. It wasn't easy, but that night became a turning point. He apologized for not trusting me, and I forgave him, though the scars of his suspicion lingered in my heart. We promised to communicate better, to never let outsiders or misunderstandings come between us again. It wasn't a perfect fix, but it was a step toward healing. Looking back, I realized how fragile trust can be, how quickly love can be shaken by a moment of doubt. But I also learned that when two people are willing to fight for their bond, even misunderstandings can be overcome. The video that nearly broke us ended up teaching us a lesson we would never forget. That love must always be stronger than suspicion.